the second quarterfinal in this year's Vodacom United Rugby Championship. As if it wasn't spicy enough being the big North-South derby in South Africa, as if it wasn't spicy enough given that it's a repeat of the inaugural URC final. After last night's result in Belfast between Ulster and Connacht, these two teams are playing for the honour of a home semi-final. This is how the DHL Stormers line up, with an all-Springbok front row captained by Stephen Kitshoff. Ruben van Heerden made recovery from a knee injury against Benetton, and Deon Fourie back crucially for the Stormers. Herschel Jantjies preferred as the starting scrum half, with Manie Libbok outside, and Dan du Plessis and Ruhan one of the form midfield combinations in the competition. Damian Willemse goes back to fullback from inside centre, and a return from injury for prolific winger Leolin, who scored 11 tries in last year's URC. A 6-2 split on the bench from head coach John Dobson, with Paul de Wet and Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, the two backline replacements. Busy is Bismarck du Plessis, and he finds himself on the bench for the Vodacom Bulls this evening. There's been a late change, which we'll get to in a moment, but Steenkamp, Grobler and Smith the front row. Ruhan captains the side from the second row, and that has been an excellent back row combination from Staden, Brink and Low. Chris Smith is at fly half, originally named on the bench with Johan Goosen the starting 10, but Goosen has moved to fullback, with Kurtley Arendse moving on to the wing following the withdrawal due to a hamstring injury of Springbok Kainan Moody. It's 5-3 on the bench from Jake White, with Bismarck du Plessis, 79 test match Springbok veteran, there on the bench with Simpiwe Matanzima and Francois Klopper, the other front row replacements. Sibongile Novuka was the man who came in onto the bench following the withdrawal of Kainan Moody. Well, the Bulls, in their unfamiliar bright pink strip for this encounter, they played on this field for the Vodacom URC title in the inaugural season. It was a desperately close affair, won by the home side by 18 points to 13. They have yet to beat the DHL Stormers across the first two seasons of the URC, but form counts for nothing on a day like this. And with me in commentary alongside to witness it unfold is former Springbok fly half Joel Stratsky.
Yeah, thanks very much, Matt. Wonderful to be here. Spectacular occasion. Massive crowd anticipated. Already, I would guess, 35, close to 40,000 people in the stadium, even more. When you consider the battle at the breakdown he'll have with Marco van Staden on the other side, just one of many across the board. There are just plenty.
And that man, Stephen Kitshoff, Joel, will want one more game in Cape Town. He's moving to Ulster after this URC campaign. Can he go one more?
Well, possible one more for him. Possible last game as well, if the Bulls manage to upset them a little bit. And of course, his Ulster coming unstuck last night. He will want to finish on a bang. He'll want to go the distance here at home. And he'll certainly want to do it for this group of players that are quite tightly knit here in Cape Town, the Stormers. Jaco Paper is our referee this afternoon. Up in the TMO box, it's Marius Jonker. And the two ARs are AJ Jacobs and Marius van der Vestes. Just coming back to the pink strip, Matt. The Bulls didn't like the pink strip initially. It's very interesting that they've chosen to play in it today. It is a sign of them being able to conquer all fears, I guess, and they'll have to conquer a big one if they are to win this afternoon here at Cape Town Stadium.
So Chris Smith promoted from the bench to the starting lineup for this big quarterfinal. Gets underway, a little slip from Herschel Jantjies before his kick, an early indication of just how treacherous this surface can be at the DHL Stadium in Cape Town. Early hoist from Goosen, who moved from starting 10 to starting 15. Wonderful take from Damian Willemse, and an arm out from Jaco Paper, showing advantage
inside 10
to the Stormers.
Number 4, inside 10.
Well, we were worried about the field, and already there, that little sign of Herschel Jantjies slipping and just trying to have a half step almost to give him time for the kick. A worrying factor. It certainly means we'll see a bit more kicking, we'll see a bit more play for territory. We might see a little bit more of a conservative start. Might become an arm wrestle, which might just nullify a little bit of the Bulls' great strength. Well, you have to get out of that 10-meter circle, and they might be a bit hard done by there, the Bulls.
So
got to retreat, didn't retreat is probably the issue.
First line out for Joseph Dweba. 4 test caps to his name and a full complement at his first line out. Springbok Marvin Orie making the call out the back from Fourie. Jantjies on a very flat ball for Dan du Plessis. And Jantjies has a quick rut ball to work with and into the corner. Nothing more that David Creel could do than shepherd that ball across the touchline. It will be a Bulls throw.
Right on the gain line, marginally forward possibly. Oh yeah, that's forward by a country mile. It's a great little kick though from Herschel Jantjies. Not a 50-22, but certainly pushing the Bulls back. The game for territory on already.
Johan Krobela and Ruhan Vermaak with the early line-out win. Pressure on the clearance from Chris Smith. Angelo Davids thinking about a quick throw, but it's an excellent clearance from Chris Smith. Massive responsibility on his shoulders. Started in last year's URC final with Zach Burger as his halfback partner. Dweba, this time for Ruben van Heerden. And Libbok will pop on from du Plessis for Ruhan Nel. And looking to bring big number 8, Evan Roos, into the game early. Away by Jantjies and Libbok over the top for the first touch for Leolin on his way back from injury. Willemse in with the tackle. Another penalty advantage shown. Then the clean from the side from Ruhan Nukia. Tackle without the ball is the call.
Well, the Bulls were caught short, weren't they? Short of numbers on that far side, and as a result, there's a good rush in there from Kirtley Orenson, but tackles.
They skipped them and they tackled him.
Willemse, no ball inside, and it's a great ball over the top from Manie Libbok.
What are we doing?
I guess when you're not expecting the ball and you still get smashed.
No.
You haven't tensed up, you're not really ready for a massive contact, and Willemse feeling the worse for wears there. Orenson, you can understand him rushing in, just trying to cut it off at source, but the ball over the top was a beauty.
Well, interesting call early on from the DHL Stormers. One that you'd expect Manie Libbok to get at the posts, but opting for the corner. And a third line-out opportunity. Hacjivah Dayimani. Bulls driving in and causing the first stop. Inside the 5-meter tram line they go. So defensive line can advance. Then Dweba breaking away. Good headway made by the hooker. Roos left the ball behind.
Stop the leg, play on.
But no knock on. Van Heerden. A carry for the captain, Stephen Kitshoff. Jantjies for Libbok, and then Dayimani. Little ball inside for du Plessis. Well, another penalty advantage, this time for offside. And penalty awarded as the ball crosses the touchline.
We haven't picked anything up there. Clean out of the ball, nothing yet.
Great maul defense at the last maul. I wonder if you go for it again. It is a great strength of the Stormers team. Big, powerful for Andre and Kitshoff, Malherbe. They've got some good weight behind them. Under normal circumstances, they set the maul really well. It's well organised and well structured, as we see the never onside penalty against the Bulls fullback Johan Querson. Stormers, though, have started really well indeed. Looked after the ball very, very well. Run good lines.
Van Heerden the target. at the front of the Stormers line. It was a gift of a ball, often not easy to gain momentum from a front ball, but still they rumble forward, looking for that opportunity to possibly break away. Half a metre short. Well, the crowd behind that try line is celebrating. Jaco Paper not convinced.
Okay.
Stormers not convinced either. No one running back.
No advantage. Everything's good. Stay back, please. Glorious. We can't conclude that that's a try on field, so with no try, just check the... We can have a look at that.
So the on-field decision, no try, which is quite important as Fourie tries to break around the side there and loses it forward. Certainly no try. The question is, I guess, is it a knock-on and a scrum balls, or is it a goal line dropout?
Morris, there's still nothing on the big screen.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm having a look for you, Pipes, and we'll come through now.
Okay.
Joseph Dweba could well be in an offside position there as well, dragging him forward. The maul is over. Definitely lost forward.
Couple of seconds, Pipes.
Okay.
Marius Jonker is the TMO. It sounds from what we heard Jaco Paper saying that he's still waiting for a feed on the screen in the stadium. Deon Fourie, the man stretching for the score. And
are you seeing any replays, Marius? We aren't.
I'm seeing Pipes.
Just before the ball touches the ground, his hand loses contact with the ball.
Yes. Jaco. So the first thing that we were looking for from the team on the field was a possible kick out of the ball out of the hand. That is not clear. There's no kick.
Okay.
And then the player loses the ball. There's clear separation.
Okay.
So it's not a try.
Okay, and is that lost forward, in other words?
That's lost forward.
In goal, so it's goal line dropped out.
Correct.
Celebrating. Jaco Paper not convinced.
Okay.
Stormers not convinced either. No one running back.
No advantage. Everything's good. Stay back, please. Glorious. We can't conclude that that's a try on field, so with no try, just check the... We can have a look at that.
So the on-field decision, no try, which is quite important as Fourie tries to break around the side there and loses it forward. Certainly no try. The question is, I guess, is it a knock-on and a scrum balls, or is it a goal line dropout?
Morris, there's still nothing on the big screen.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm having a look for you, Pipes, and we'll come through now.
Okay.
Joseph Dweba could well be in an offside position there as well, dragging him forward. The maul is over. Definitely lost forward.
Couple of seconds, Pipes.
Okay.
Marius Jonker is the TMO. It sounds from what we heard Jaco Paper saying that he's still waiting for a feed on the screen in the stadium. Deon Fourie, the man stretching for the score. And
are you seeing any replays, Marius? We aren't.
I'm seeing Pipes.
Just before the ball touches the ground, his hand loses contact with the ball.
Yes. Jaco. So the first thing that we were looking for from the team on the field was a possible kick out of the ball out of the hand. That is not clear. There's no kick.
Okay.
And then the player loses the ball. There's clear separation.
Okay.
So it's not a try.
Okay, and is that lost forward, in other words?
That's lost forward.
In goal, so it's goal line dropped out.
Correct.
Okay.
So there it is, lost forward in goal, goal line dropped out.
Yeah, of course, if he'd lost it forward a foot or so short of the line, it would have been a knock-on, but in goal means it gives the Bulls, I guess, not quite an easy clearance because it's a drop kick, but a chance to get the ball out of that red zone. They have defended like Trojans in the opening minutes of this game.
Well, 2 5-meter lineouts, one on either side of the field, defended successfully by the Vodacom Bulls, and a massive lift to their spirits. Poisson with the goal line dropout. Willemse and Evan Roos brought down by Fourie. van Heerden. Little deft switch to Damian Willemse, with Herschel Jantjies having run the dummy line to his right. Now the carry from Stephen Kitshoff. Jantjies, little dab through off the right boot. Awkward one for Chris Smith. Did well, but then swamped.
You bailed out.
And Stedman Kantz and Johan Krobelaar doing brilliant work to get back behind the tackle on Chris Smith and make the clean.
Fine.
Ambrose Papier. Decent relieving kick from the scrum half, and that's a period of Stormers' attack, well repelled by the visitors.
Sometimes it's little wins in the game that really inspire you, and being able to hold the opposition out when you're under pressure like that is great inspiration for the Bulls team. It doesn't take anything away from the Stormers. Sustained pressure, and at some point, if they are down there, those gates will open.
Dayimani with a bit of a contest that time from the Vodacom Bulls. Du Plessis spent a few games out in the wider centre berth in the number 13 jersey, but now back to number 12, where he's played superb rugby this season. Little shot at the ball from Manie, Libbok looking for Jantjies to his inside. Timing of the tackle was good. Evan Roos. Jantjies. And away by Du Plessis. It's Dayimani who eventually breaks the deadlock. Just too many numbers away to the left for the DHL Stormers. And Hacjivah Dayimani canters over for a third try of this URC campaign. A fifth in total. And the man who didn't take his rugby kit off for about 4 days after last year's URC final, in for the first try of the quarterfinal.
Yeah, and beautifully worked, wasn't it? It was a deft little carry there from Dan Du Plessis. Just a little shift on the pass, got him on the outside, got him some good go forward. Strong carry from Dweba, and then look at this for a brilliant break. Manie Libbok, the beautiful little show. Through the gap he went, took the one-on-one against Gerard Steenekamp. The ball was processed nice and quickly. Strong carry from the number 8 Evan Roos, and then oodles of space, loads of numbers on the outside. Orange rushed up again, and the Sydney Harbour ball bridge doing all the work, and Dayimani with an easy run in, but just a beautifully constructed team try.
So Manie Libbok with 167 points. He was the leading point scorer in the inaugural URC. He's the top point scorer this campaign. 167 to convert the try. The assistants love it. And the Stormers capitalizing on their early territorial dominance.
Yeah, just really well constructed. Look at the little show and go, and of course when you've got a one-on-one with a prop forward, it's a little easier for a 10. Most importantly, the support lines were all good, and the ball over the top just sublime.
Ruhan upended as he tried to plant that left boot for his clearance kick. Willemse. And Chris Smith, the man coming forward to play everyone on side. Damian Willemse away to Libbok. And a lot of space for Johan Hacjivah to cover. Decent bounce for him. Looking for a possible 50-22 here. But well covered by Damian Willemse.
Fast play.
The two fullbacks exchanging kicks, and that's gone straight into touch. Unforced error from Johan Hacjivah, gifting a ton of territory to the home side.
Oh, it's just a foot or so, but it's out on the full. Maybe just looking for too much there, Hacjivah. Played quite a lot of his rugby at fullback. He's familiar with the position, but the late change might just be catching him. Lots of space for the Stormers to kick into, I'm afraid, before that. Amazing stat. The Stormers have won 19 of their last 20 matches, and they've only drawn one and lost one in their last 21 games, 2 seasons. It's an incredible home record they have.
knockout game of the pool stages against Munster was what saw them lose their first game here at DHL Stadium. A little sloppy in the midfield. Angelo Davids off his right wing to just consolidate, and then Jantjies, another clever little kick, just turning the balls and keeping the ball in front of his forwards.
And it's not just the kick, it's the execution of the kick. He kicks it with a bit of top spin, so it kicks and runs on, doesn't really stand up to be caught. Watch out, this one just bounces and rolls along the ground there. So difficult for anyone to gather. Curtly Orange had rushed up in defence again. I wonder if he hasn't done his knee a little bit of a harm. Got some strapping on there a little bit earlier.
Curtly Orange was one of the Vodacom Bulls players who played on this ground in a Currie Cup game against Western Province last weekend, and definitely seemed to do a little bit of damage.
Leave it now!
To that knee.
Clean out's gone, you're late. There's already a clean out to ruck.
Ruck formed Deon Fourie with no rights to go in and contest.
You're not first.
It's amazing the dominance the Stormers have got so far. They've had all the ball, 78%. They've controlled the territory up there, 76% I think it is. Maybe even more, 86%. Just complete dominance in the first 15 minutes. This is a good strong carry. A little bit highs. Everyone risk gets the old boss's full treatment, and back he goes.
Just say that again. Yeah.
Nice on there. All the youngsters tackle low.
Play. Sack is good, play away!
Ruhan Vermaak, fair sack is the call from the referee.
Hang on. Relax. When the sack's good, the ball's got to come out. Okay? Yeah. Well, I dropped it. The moment they sack it, you can come. Okay?
First come, mate?
Yeah. So it's on the 15. It's your ball.
Taken comfortably at the front
was
there.
good. Ball needs to come out.
Sacked, which is why the ball's got to come out immediately.
There you go.
And then a scuffle between the two number 8s.
Yeah, nothing in it though, is there?
Okay, lads.
First scrum.
We've got to show positive pictures here.
Oh, the props watching at home and here in the stadium will be so happy right now. I just hope the field doesn't cut up, because it is a little bit dicey in places, the pitch, and it's just purely because there's been a bit of rain around the last 2 weeks. It's a little wet, a little slippery, as we've seen. Hard under for the front rowers to get some good grip, particularly on that first part of the scrum on the hit. Once it's stable, it's stable, but getting the hit and getting set, so difficult. Not bad at all, not bad at all. Down it goes on the far side.
Eventually the arm comes from Jaco Paper, so a free play for the Stormers. Zas trying to put Willemse into a hole. And a wild pass, a speculative pass out of the back of the hand for Angelo Davids, not finding its target, but playing with that scrum advantage.
Free ball though, isn't it? It's a free ball where you can just throw all caution to the wind. Didn't come off, but good idea. The backhand long pass, one of the more difficult ones to execute. Just went down on the side here. Real battle, and Stephen Kitshoff getting a bit of domination.
What are you doing? Okay, let's go.
Ironically, it wasn't Warner Smith who went down.
That was the near side. Jaco Paper made the call on the side where Steenekamp and Frans Malherbe were doing battle. Now, we've spoken about this pitch. You can see how just from that scrum it is cut up. But as a goal kicker, it's every bit as difficult, especially on the longer kicks. This is a kick of over 45 meters on the angle. Just to have the confidence to plant that left foot.
Yeah, to put the planting foot down heavy and hard, and
that's why
give yourself something to pivot against as you try and make good contact.
Far and away the top point scorer, John Cooley of Ulster, who are now out of the competition after that shock defeat at the Kingspan Stadium in Belfast last night to Connacht, who are on their way to South Africa no matter what. But Manie Libbok planted the left boot, swung the right, and raised the flags yet again.
Now, bear in mind, this is sea level. That is a sensational strike. Take into account the fact that the surface is a bit slippery. Makes it even better. What a kick.
So some early daylight inside the first quarter for the DHL Stormers, but the Blues just itching to get a hand on the ball, find some territory, set up a couple of set pieces. They're not going to do it now because Damian Willemse's kick has found touch, and a quick throw in taken by Johan into touch, and a brilliant kick leaves Herschel Jantjies trying desperately to keep it in play, knocking it over the touchline in the process. That's a wonderful result for the Vodacom Bulls.
Jantjies look like a combination between a goalkeeper and a slip fielder trying to make the catch there. It was a super kick there. Look at this. Would have been the 50-22, which is why I died for it. Couldn't gather cleanly. Great effort.
Kobola
over 15.
Over the 15 for Kyle Brink.
Can join from the side, yes, over 50.
And wrapped up on the home side. Ball not emerging, scrum going the way of the Stormers.
They're trying to get to the ball, in my view.
Second line out in a row, the Bulls are thrown in, and they've been, well, not so much this time it's held up. The last time sacked and the ball didn't come out.
No
so
line,
both occasions the Stormers are going to get the put into the scrum.
I'm not a bit fucked, I'm sorry.
It's a great way of defending the ball itself. And the Stormers have done it really well. Nice little line-out variation. Ruhan went up in the middle, so the ball over the back should have been a little less defended.
Yeah. He's
going to give you a better able to take advantage.
Okay. And you need to stay ball up. Okay.
And the Bulls just desperate to get their hands on the ball inside Stormers territory to start stringing some phases together. If you go back to their final pool game against Leinster, yes, it was a largely under-strength Leicester team. We all know that. But the way they played and the way they demolished Leinster in that match would have given them an extraordinary amount of confidence. Just need to find a bit of rhythm. It's been very stop-start for the visiting side so far. Away by Jantjies, who gets it back from Libbok, and excellent defensive work done by Markov and started. Tracked the Stormers scrum off the whole way. And Libbok filling in at scrum half and finding Kitshoff.
Last feed.
And order restored now with Jantjies back in his scrum half position. And making the hoist. Creel coming off his wing together. Takes a decent tackle as well from Deon Fourie and Ruben van Heerden.
Away. Ball's available.
Papier. Brink.
On the chest.
And Morne Steyn and Johan Kobola just helping Kyle Brink into contact. Now the hoist onto Willemse. Big test here, and Kurtley Arendse got up brilliantly. Just lost the ball in the air, but showing just what a danger he is. Great vertical leap from the Springbok winger, who scored in all 4 of South Africa's November test matches in the UK and Europe.
Well, I was a little worried that he'd done his knee a little bit of damage. No sign of it there as he went up brilliantly. Just couldn't gather. A long chase, timed the jump perfectly. Just a slight knock on. It's a pinpoint accurate kick as well, wasn't it? First one, I think it was back in the pocket.
No.
Oh, that is almost in the basket.
It's a knock on outside. Okay, thank you.
So, Matt, you mentioned the Bulls looking for a little possession. They went through a couple of phases there, didn't they? But didn't really make any headway, and as a result, almost ran out of ideas and went to the boot, and the boot was a good option.
Really good pictures, previous one.
Ahead. That's quite an interesting
really good pictures.
Point scored. Stormers marginally ahead, but they're far ahead on the game's won.
Those 2 wins for the Bulls coming prior to the Vodacom URC as we know it now. So in the 2 seasons that have been played with the competition as it is previously, there was the Rainbow Cup, which was an early derivative. It's been 2 wins here in Cape Town in the pool stages, 2 wins at Loftus, and then of course the final of the first URC after that wonderful win from the Vodacom Bulls against Leinster in their semi-final in Dublin. They came back to face DHL Stormers in Cape Town. Hoist from Quirson, and again it's Kurtley Orense giving wonderful chase and winning the ball back for the Bulls. Low.
And away.
Papier has quick ball this time. Away by Quirson. Then Harold Forster.
Police side.
Roos made the tackle and attempted the counter-up.
Just trying to get through the phases. You've got to get a bit of go forward in order to get that real sparkle going. And
hold in. Hook is in. Let's go. Keep moving.
No arms in the tackle there from Marvin Orie, but not really a shoulder charge as the ball came popping out and not gathered.
Yes. Okay,
Brock Harris had a bit of a chat to him before the game. He's got a torn hamstring. I don't know how props tear a hamstring.
Okay, no.
But it's torn right at the top, so he's in a brace, and we wish him a speedy recovery.
Well, there's going to be a chat here, Joel, between Jaco Paper and Marvin Orie.
Just 5.
Who has been informed.
In that contact, he's up and there's no time to wrap. It's penalty only, but we're going to have to penalise you because they're taking away your time, but you haven't wrapped. Okay? In the midfield. Happy with that? So it's going to be a penalty against him. Penalty for you. He didn't have a proper wrap there. Okay.
But it was clear as day. It was a real strong carry up the middle, and Marvin Orie came in and almost made a block as opposed to a shoulder charge, but certainly didn't wrap the arms, which is what he's been penalised for.
Now, Marius Jonker, the TMO, spotting that one on the replay. It is right in the middle of the field. Interesting to see what Ruhan asks his team to do. Johan Quirson being called forward and will have a shot at goal. A happy Cape Town crowd for now, getting into the spirit of things with a wave, and there is the no wrap from Marvin Orie. That right arm just tucking in underneath him, and shoulder to shoulder contact with Ruhan Vermaak. And those are the kind of contacts that players have to be so careful of. It is a penalty only, it's shoulder to shoulder, but so often we've seen this season that kind of challenge slipping up and then making contact with the neck or head area.
And head to head in the back of it. Oh, he's pulled it to the left as the young person. He was striking it so well in the build-up, and that has just drifted off to the left.
A disappointed Vodacom Bulls fan. Not only at the kick, but the fact that he brought his blue jersey, not his pink one. In the box, 22-metre restart. That's John Carey from Ulrich Low.
That's the ball. Ball's available. Ball's clearly available.
Here has Robela and Kyle Brink waiting. Brink is the receiver. Help from Robela and Steenekamp. Cut out ball from Quirson for Stedman Frans. It was a good defensive read from Angelo Davids, who'd initially crabbed in. Tackle from Orie on Nortje. Quirson. Often seeing Quirson in that first receiver position.
Don't lift his leg.
There's a basic error the Bulls are making. They watch the Stormers when they make those one-off runs. They play really flat and on the gain line. They get over the gain line as a result. And it's quite hard to defend that. The Bulls catching the ball deep, then starting their run. The Stormers defence taking the space, trapping them behind the gain line. And it just makes it so much easier for a man like Deon Fourie to make the steal. And boy, did he get in there quickly this time round. Behind the gain line, static, very static is Johan Quirson as first receiver. The Bulls caught behind the gain line, and look how easy.
Selection of that, and would be man of the match in the inaugural Vodacom URC final. And sitting out the last 2 games with a fracture in the cheek. But straight back into his best form at the breakdown. Libbok pops it over the top. Creel has made a good read. And happy to
Option.
nurse it over the dead
22
ball line.
strong.
Option
good
number 20.
positioning. Sorry, like really good positioning from David Creel. Kicked at him quickly.
And Evan Roos running back hard at the Bulls' defensive line. Kirkley Orense came quickly up. It's a lovely inside ball from Kitshoff to Willemse. With the outside channel cut off. Now Libbok spots an opportunity. Goes into the gap and Davids. A flag is up. There may have been a knock or two in there. It might need a while to unpick. It's some wonderful cover defence. The gap opening up for Manie Libbok. The opportunity certainly there. And some desperate cover defensive effort. Nullifying the Stormers in the corner.
And it's a little inside ball. They've thrown it once or twice. Sometimes on a little switchback. This time it was straight back inside from Kitshoff. Just making the defence look at the inside channel, which frees up space on the outside. Manie Libbok reads that perfectly.
Morris, do you want to see that again? All good. Thank you. We'll play. It's just a collision. Stormers ball. Blue ball. Happy with that, Morris?
So it's a Stormers line
Stormers
out
ball, Pink took it out.
There was a thought that maybe Angelo Davids had been in touch before offloading the ball. That has been assessed.
Time's off.
It's actually eventually taken over by a Bulls player. I think Johan Kobbelaert was who took it into touch.
What do you want it? Okay. Okay, we're reviewing a tackle by this player off the ball. Thank you. Step away.
So Kyle Brink has been called out by the TMO Marius Jonker for a tackle off the ball. Not sure what kind of difference it might make. It's a Stormers line out 5 meters from the line. If they get a penalty, they'll probably knock it into the corner anyway.
And you wouldn't fancy being a yellow card for a tackle off the ball. It's a great run from Manie Libbok.
Okay, we're looking at the actions of 7 Bulls.
Oh, the push on Hacjivah Dayimani from Kyle Brink.
Just freeze it for me on 14, whether he steps on the touchline first. That's just clear where the 14's on the touchline.
Oh, he's done well to keep those feet in the field of play, hasn't he?
No, nothing clear there.
Okay.
Oh, it's a placing, good skill.
Then we got,
chucks it
then we got 7 taking 7 without the ball. We all agree. Agree with that? Yeah, so... Yes.
Yaku, can we put you on the screen?
Yes. Are we on the screen?
You are on the screen now.
Okay, thank you. So 7 blue, Pink is taking out 7 blue without the ball. And a very good attacking area of the field after a line break. All agree that's a yellow card. Okay, then let's deal with penalty try. In my mind, you don't take the action, the player out of the equation. You only take the action out of the equation. So the player is still there to make a tackle if he makes it legally. Therefore, it's too far out. And I'm not seeing a penalty try, just a yellow card. Thank you.
There's a whole lot of something made out of a whole lot of nothing here.
You can take the line if you want. Okay.
And Kyle Brink can feel a little.
Okay, so they take the line out. Hang on.
I'm not sure that was worthy of a yellow card.
So it still is the line out in the corner. But the Bulls down a man for the next 10 minutes. Marvin Orie the target at line out time.
In 5.
Bulls do well to hold it at first. Goes inside the 5 meter channel. Then Dweba breaking away. Held up.
Tackle.
Held up.
Ambrose Papier. That is utterly heroic.
Held up.
And quite rightly getting the accolades from his teammates. That is a sensational tackle. Doesn't have to smash him backwards, just has to make sure he can't ground the ball. And somehow he has stopped the powerful, strong, bollocking Joseph Dweba from getting over here. That is just brilliant from Ambrose Prepare. Gutsy, hard, determined, and great technique to add to it.
In the meantime, Chris Smith has taken the goal line dropout, returned by the Stormers. Roos clattering into Grobelaar and Vermaak.
Last feed. No, it's all right.
Libbok.
Libbok knocked on.
And the Bulls that already
Libbok knocked down.
Come over the offside line, then knocking it down deliberately.
How we doing?
And Stephen Kitshoff is saying to Manie, Libbok, kick for the corner. We want to really ram home this numerical advantage.
I want to kick that is.
Offside.
I think the intentional knockdown for me is probably more of a yellow card than the last one. But this does set up another opportunity for the Stormers there. The Bulls' defence at the more for the bigger part of this game has been quite good, but they're a man down, no Carl Brink,
Clear gap.
and they will be hard pressed to defend this again.
Well, they go to Orie. There was a contest from the Bulls, which allowed the Stormers to gather a little bit of momentum.
No collapse, Marvin. No, stay there. Stay
Herschel
there.
Jantjies goes digging for the
It's
ball.
still going to be onside.
And Kitshoff driven ahead by Dan du Plessis. Jantjies up for Dweba. Denied once and denied again. Jantjies. Now Zas left it behind. Lost forward.
Lost forward.
So that is now 4 5-meter lineouts. Successfully defended by the Vodacom Bulls, keeping themselves in the game.
2 of those are man short.
There we go.
Well, the rush defence not paying dividends in terms of tackling the man, but it's dislodged the ball out of the hands of Leolin Zas.
Okay, all good, let's go. Let's form it up, please. Come on, form it up.
Bear in mind the conditions, and it is a little humid, a little overcast. A hint of rain expected a bit later on a pitch that is already quite damp and slippery. Not too many errors, actually, only 4 handling errors. Sorry, no Carl Brink. The Bulls will have to control it with their tight head. Not having a flanker to push on him. Surely one of the backs would go in there and give some weight.
Same one. Reset far side. We've got issues far side.
Oh, there is a back on
This
that
side's good.
side. Harold forced into the scrum.
Yeah. Okay. Let's step over here.
You spoke earlier about these little
Okay, we
wins
got both players on this
in
side
a
of the
game.
distance. We need a longer
Stormers
bind from you. Don't come back shoulder to shoulder.
with a 10-point
You keep the
lead,
feet
but
under here.
will
Right.
feel that it should be more. And by contrast, the Vodacom Bulls with just one opportunity to kick at goal, which was pulled wide by Johan Goosen. Other than that, they've had precious little to work with, but they remain very much in this quarter-final by virtue of their defensive efforts.
By virtue purely of the scoreboard, if you consider the possession, 62% to the Stormers, territory 65%, it's complete domination except on the scoreboard. The lead, but not really reflective of that domination.
And Papier getting away from the attention of Herschel Jantjies. And Johan Goosen able to make a safe clearance.
Was one getting dominant there? Was
So
one
well
getting
played
dominant
by
there?
Ambrose Papier
Ball
again.
out in time.
Right in the lion's mouth, in the lion's jaw, he managed to somehow make a good little step, good clearance pass, and freed up some space for the kick. Well, right now, the way the Stormers are dominating and the way they lead on the board, the percentage could be even higher.
Down from Ruben van Heerden, uncontested. Cut-out ball from Libbok, and then Zas into the line off his left wing.
Lost head.
Hans rolling out of the way just in time. Bit of a standing start for Ivan Roos.
First man on.
And penalty one.
Ball's on top. No, ball's on top of a player. Ball's not on the ground, ball's on top of a player. Exposed.
Bulls defense very narrow again. They managed to control it and stop it at the actual point of source, at the breakdown, and won the penalty.
Let's go.
Stormers find a little bit more ball out wide. They're going to find more and more space out there.
Let's go, Ted.
Counting down the clock, waiting for that yellow card to come back is Chris Smith.
Tell you what the Vodacom Bulls have done as well is just make this crowd a little quiet. They were celebrating a short while ago, but they've defended heroically and they've just stunted the mood ever so slightly.
Gap, please. I'll slow it down.
The ball trapped on top of Evan Roos there, so I've got paper saying that the Bulls had rights. Steal from Marvin Orie. Well controlled by Dweba on the tap. Then the kicker across from Manie Libbok. Ruhan now saving his way through. Finds Dayimani.
No offside line, general play. No one's big!
Jantjies away to his right. Malherbe and Kitshoff.
Tackle out!
Then open side from Jantjies. Evan Roos powering his way through. Robala makes an important tackle. Libbok finds Fourie and thus into the corner and back to his try-scoring ways on his return from injury. Months out of the game, and it's like he never left.
Well, it was clear as day there was going to be space up on the tips for the Stormers team if they got some quick ball. The Bulls defense very narrow. Came from a stolen line out, and then again, Manie Libbok just made a really good run as he just controlled the space. Made sure the backs were committed. That little chip over the top was very clever indeed. Should maybe have scored here a little bit earlier. A number of options on the inside. Not released by Ruhan now, but didn't count at the end of the day as the space was on the outside. Fourie not scavenging this time, but making the final pass. And thus ending off another well-constructed Stormers try.
Well, there was such disappointment for Leolin Zas towards the back end of the first edition of the Vodacom URC. 11 tries in the campaign, but cruelly injured in the playoff stages. And the wingers in that final were Sergio Peterson and Siabella Sanatla.
15.
Zas not getting his opportunity, then injured early in this campaign. But back in for this quarterfinal, back on the score sheet, and Manie Libbok back on form off the kicking tee as well.
Well, isn't it amazing how it works? Libbok probably not striking them all that well before the game, but he's kicked two magnificent conversions. Bulls defense just left scrambling out wide, and not just the fact that they were short on numbers, but the big fellas out there not able to stop the backs. Well orchestrated again from the Stormers team.
Who are now dropping back to claim a much deeper restart this time from Chris Smith. I just feel like the Bulls need something right now. They're still down to 14, just a minute and a half or so for Kyle Brink still in the sin bin. Needs something to take them into half-time.
Yeah, somewhat of positiveness. And it's almost reward for some really good defense at times, more so than good attack play, because there hasn't been any. Been caught behind the gain line. They've not had too much ball. They've not really made any progress. Now would be the time.
Robala for his captain, Ruhan and the pressure from Ruben van Heerden. And Robala controlling the ball at the back of the maul where one stop has been called.
Stay there. He's good. He's got his inside on. He's still got that on. He's still down.
Well, Marvin Orie was...
No, at the back end you change your inside bind. You can't change your inside bind.
penalised eventually for changing his bind. Emrose Papier was
original bind,
trying to show Jaco Paper that Marvin Orie was illegal, and The referee was saying, no, he's never changed his bind. He's come through the middle, but eventually he did change his bind.
And it must be so tempting when you are legal and you've got the ball carrier in your left arm to switch that right arm and try and wrap up the ball, which I think is exactly what happened.
Because your inside was locked, then you change your inside.
Right, so penalty awarded. Kyle Brink back onto the field after his 10 minutes for the yellow card, and Chris Smith kicking to the corner. 2 minutes and 20 seconds of the first half of this quarter-final to play. A home semi-final on the line in the URC for either of these teams. A reminder of the result in Belfast last night. Connacht shocking Ulster and winning their way to the semi-final, the first of the 4 teams in the semi-finals. Their opponents be the Bulls or the Stormers. The Bulls looking for something on the stroke of half-time. They have momentum from their maul. They have control of the ball. Deon coming through the middle. A metre short. And then the try awarded.
I just want to check, sorry.
Yucca Paper not yet 100% sure. The Bulls are.
I just want to see.
Kyle Brink up with the ball.
Marius, we need to clear that. The line is actually, there's a foot mark that moved the line, so we need to see if that ball's clearly on the line. Thank you.
Jaco, are you on try at this stage?
Yes, I'm on try unless.
Players always give it away, don't they?
But there's a foot
They
mark
know whether they've scored or not. Kyle Brink is 100% sure he has scored. The Bulls are back to the halfway line. To your point, they needed something. They needed something big, they needed something urgently, and they've got it.
And this will be such sweet redemption for Kyle Brink if it is indeed confirmed. Jaco Paper awarded the try, but just wants to see if the ball is on the line. He seemed to indicate to his TMO that the line has been almost pushed by a boot mark. And he certainly couldn't assess from that angle, from what we're seeing there, whether there's enough to overturn an on-field decision.
Yeah, I just realised when they
can't see too much from that angle.
There.
He was nice and low though, wasn't he? Got a good body position, good strong leg drive. Well met defensively. The big question is, did the ball touch the line? On-field decision is try. There needs to be hard evidence that it didn't touch the line. From that, you're not going to see it.
Are we having a look? One more angle, Jaco?
Okay.
That was the first carry from Steenekamp. There comes Kyle Brink. Just a little glance up. Ruben van Heerden, the man in his path. And Jaco Paper is actually the best placed person to make that call.
Jaco? So the images that I have, I cannot conclusively give you any idea whether that ball is on or short of the line.
Thank you, I'm comfortable. I saw that ball on the line. I just needed to clear that pitch mark, whether that gave me an illusion. Thank you.
So the try is awarded, and Kyle Brink is on the board. The first points of this quarter-final. The man who won over 60 caps in all competitions for the Lions and the Golden Lions up in Johannesburg. A brief stint at Leicester Tigers, and now back in Pretoria. And the former South African under-20 international, having spent 10 minutes in the bin. It's the first points of the quarter-final for the Vodacom Bulls, and Johan Goosen to add the extras, and that has raised the flag. So it's the perfect response from the Vodacom Bulls after the converted try from Leolin.
Well, the Maul a couple of minutes ago edged forward, didn't quite have that same momentum. This time round, the Bulls were dynamic and strong. They kept the ball nicely around the fringe. They were inspired and hard as nails and found a way to get over. Just barely, but over it was.
A vital, vital score. Just ahead of half-time from the Vodacom Bulls, and excellent work done from Elric Lowe as well to gather a loose ball from the restart. Slow carry from Marco van Staden.
Adjust, back.
Another Bulls loose forward who spent time at Leicester Tigers in the English Premiership before returning to Pretoria.
Yep, that's time.
Now Chris Smith, ball was carried back, so not finding touch on the full, but Damian Willemse more than happy to bring an end to the first half of this absorbing quarter-final. The Vodacom Bulls keeping themselves in contention with some wonderful defensive efforts in their own 22, and then hitting back with a try of their own after 2 from the DHL Stormers. Half-time in Cape Town, DHL Stormers 17, Vodacom Bulls 7. But crucially, a minute and a half before half-time, Kyle Brink, who'd spent 10 minutes in the sin bin for an off-the-ball challenge close to his own line, gained a sweet reprieve with a try from a pick and drive close to the Stormers line. Johan Goosen added the extra 2 points to give the Vodacom Bulls something to go into the halftime break to be positive about. They could also be really positive about their defensive effort. 5-meter lineouts from the home side. The DHL Stormers repelled successfully by the Vodacom Bulls, and that has kept them in this fight. The winner of this game goes on to host a home semi-final next week against Connacht.
Yeah, it's interesting looking at the tackle stats. The Bulls have made 54, the Stormers only 28, but the Bulls have missed 12, which doesn't really tell much of a story. It's really been about their defense on the line, where they managed to just hold the Stormers out at vital times.
So Manie Libbok with 3 out of 3 from the kicking tee, the competition's top point scorer. An excellent first half, not only from the kicking tee, but in general play. From the Stormers pivot, he gets the second half underway, and Ambrose Papier waits to make his hoist. Kurtley Orense gives chase. He made 2 wonderful leaps in the first half. The kick ahead from Ruhan Nokia, it's a clever one from the Vodacom Bulls captain. Jantjies smothered in his own 22, manages to hold it up long enough for Damian Willemse. And Evan Roos,
Now out 7, 1.
who's not been able to assert the dominance in contact that he would like.
And use it now.
Not often getting the chance to run onto the ball that gives him so much momentum. The clearance from Jantjies is decent, but the Bulls will be happy with this start to the second half.
And you know, you mentioned, and in fact there's no one who's really dominated the contact game line, have they? Because on this wet field, a really good ball carrier, someone who steps and gets in between 2 defenders, gets a bit of space, leg drives, maybe gets over the gain line, and here it's just so hard. You just straight up and down into 2 defenders.
Van Krobela for Ruhan Vermaak. Very flat for Chris Smith, and then for Harold Forster. Ulrich Lowe peeling around the corner.
And player.
Then a mistake from the Vodacom Bulls, just handing possession back to the Stormers. Expansive pass from the unlikely figure of Frans Malherbe. Then Dan du Plessis with the kick ahead. Awkward one for Johan Goosen, and Kitshoff is on the charge.
Is that a knock-on?
Jantjies finds Van Heerden.
Never onside, big. That's obstruction. Offside, never back onside.
And Maurice Goosen is sadly down in back play. Johan Goosen, I should say.
It is guy.
No, it was a horrible collision with Dan du Plessis. There was nothing malicious or intentional about it. They were both contesting the ball after a very awkward bounce from the du Plessis kick.
Boy, it was a horrible bounce for both players, really, but there is some concern around Johan Goosen. Then went down really hard. This is not going to be pretty.
I'm just going to wait for that player.
Head.
It's your mark. I'm just going to wait for that player.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
So penalty it is to the Stormers. That clever little kick over the top. Thought it was quite a good kick actually from Ruhan Nokia. And it's a real calm, cool, collected defense from Herschel, Jantjies initially, the little offload, the way they recycled the ball, got it in a good position to kick, and made the good kick.
Well, the most played song in the United Rugby Championship, Sweet Caroline, is making its way around the stadium. We're told that there are more than 46,000, almost 47,000 people in the DHL stadium today. Manie Libbok has placed the ball. He cannot take the penalty kick because time is off. And Johan Quersen still being attended to by the medical staff. Just a word while they're doing that, Joel, for Dan du Plessis. You were talking about him before the game. What a transformative season it's been for him. He's been injury prone in the past, but if you look at his season now, this is his 17th game of the campaign. He's been an ever-present and has grown in stature and confidence.
And I thought when he came on the scene, he probably didn't look as talented as he actually is. He probably looked maybe a little out of sort. Took him a while to adapt, and to be fair to him, he also played a lot on the outside centre position, which maybe doesn't suit his skill set, his real strength. But this season, he's just become a, when you look at teams, you consider who the decision makers are, who the smart players are, and he's become one of those smart players in this team. Clever player, runs good lines, picks the right time to do things as well. Often we talk about players having an instinct of where to be, how to be there, and then executing well. He's a man who picks the right option at the right time, and when you look at his stats, they are just really, really good. Harold Forster and the Bulls team that at times has struggled, has great stats as well. But this is a man who's played in a winning team, in a team where everyone is as good as he is, and he has shone at times. He's had a wonderful season as the Stormers number 12, Dan du Plessis.
And bearing in mind that Damian Willemse played so much of his rugby in the inside centre position in the inaugural URC, including in that final against the Vodacom Bulls. He's now moved to fullback. Warwick Gelant started the final last year before making his way to France with a winner's medal in his pocket. And Dan du Plessis has settled into that number 12 jersey. When Willemse has played there, he's moved one out. There's been a little bit of injury trouble to the ankle of Ruhan during this campaign. And he's moved seamlessly between the two, but looks most at home at 12. Johan Quersen stretch it off.
Sibongile Novuka is the man who's made his way on. He'll come on the wing, and Kurt Lawrence will move back to fullback where he was initially scheduled to play.
Just a second URC cap for Sibongile Novuka. He was the man who was included in the 23 after the withdrawal of Kane and Moody. And Manie Libbok makes it 4 out of 4 from the tee and extends the lead back to 13.
John Dobson, I think, will be pretty happy. I think at half-time he might have been looking at his team thinking they should have been quite a few points further ahead. But for some gutsy Bulls defence, he'll be happy with the start to the second half.
It's been a regular restart from Chris Smith, deep into that bottom left corner as he looks at it. Kurt Lawrence herring after the hoist from Smith and gets up ahead of Jantjies. He makes a good tackle, and then Deon Fourie. Who else? Now Ivan Roos, armed through the tackle, but a wild pass out the back, and that's gone wrong for Manie Libbok, who has to gather the ball under all sorts of pressure.
And away.
Bulls looking to hit straight back here. They're applying good pressure deep in Stormers territory.
At the back.
Jantjies shaping to make his own clearance. Ulrich Lowe just a little too hasty to apply the pressure, had to withdraw. Creole gets away from Nell. And then the contest from Roos. Brilliant over the ball from the Stormers, number 8. Jantjies. Awkward one for Zas, but he kept his cool. And then Willemse, wrapped up by a sea of pink jerseys.
Last beat.
Only battling to work their way out, but now Joseph Dweba can burst clear. Looking for Roos to his inside, couldn't get the pass away. Counter-attack on now for the Bulls. Arendse.
Play on.
And still.
Release it and play it again. Release now.
He released the ball, got to his feet, played again, and makes another few meters, but then penalised for holding on.
Evan Roos again, second time in a row.
Ball buried under the body. Can't get it lifted.
Clever bit of play from Kurtley Arendse. Tackled, put the ball down, up and went again. Almost caught the Stormers napping. Great run from Joseph Dweba. Went to the little one-handed spectacular offload. Didn't come off, but the big man showed some real strength and real signs. That was the second little pick and go from Kurtley Arendse. As he goes down now, Deon, that's 7 Roos. So quick to get his hands around the body there and trap the ball. As we see another change coming. Really, Engelbrecht makes his way on, and it is Deon Fourie who's going to make way. He's come back from injury. Thought he might last a little bit longer than that, actually. He's been so influential.
Well, it's been a few weeks out of the game. He was chatting to us on the side of the pitch before the game. He said, it's great to be back, but I'll tell you how great tomorrow morning. Recovery.
He said, I'll tell you how the body feels tomorrow morning, yeah.
Recovery doesn't get any easier. But still playing with a youthful enthusiasm. Here's Willemse and Zas turning Arendse with the kick. Back goes Steedman-Gans.
All good.
He slipped from Leolin Zas as he shaped to make the tackle. Excellent work from the former 7 Springbok Steedman-Gans.
No more hands, 1. Make sure you're last.
Stephen Kitshoff pulled off the steal by Jaco Paper. Ambrose Papier has a shield through which to make his clearance. Doesn't find touch. Lost backwards by Willemse. Gets away from Nobuka. And here is Zas. Barging Ambrose Papier out of his path.
Last 8.
Jantjies, Libbok. And here is Willemse again. And Engelbrecht. And they're going to go in again for a third. Angelo Davids.
We'll just clear that.
Well, Jaco Paper wants it cleared. It may have been
we all happy that
just a little casual. We shall see.
All happy that's backwards. We'll just clear that it's backwards.
Yeah, I think that was backwards. It's always surprising.
Yeah, I'm happy it is backwards.
Yes, the Bulls have been skinned out wide the whole of the first half. They haven't changed their defensive structure in the second. Out wide, they caught again. Look at this. There's still another Stormers player on the outside. Easy little run in.
Yeah, no problem there. I think he was worried, and Ruhan was worried that Krobela might have interfered.
Yeah, I think there was a question around whether Damian Willemse knocked that bit backwards right at the start, or whether that had maybe gone forward, but backwards it was. Davids, yeah, definitely gets that down. Attempts a little bit of a tackle, but that score, you would think, and I know it's always too soon to say it, but the way the Stormers have played and the little possession the Bulls have had, and how uncomfortable they've looked with ball in hand, you would think that this game is now really getting away from the visitors.
I'm afraid I'm going to agree and just say it is just a little too soon.
It is definitely too soon, and stranger things have happened, but boy, the Bulls have got to change things up now if they want to get back into this game.
Libbok. Well, he really is on song. He went through a little lull, a little soft patch over the last couple of games, both in general play and from the kicking tee, but he's 5 out of 5, 12 points, taking his tally to 179.
Yeah, good little hands, nice little slip off from Willie Engelbrecht.
Outside.
just outside their 22, trying to get going again.
Jantjies thinking about the clearance. Then Manie Libbok goes to the cross kick on the open side, and Sass, well, he almost managed to grab it, but he was under pressure from Sibongile Novuka.
Knock on.
And that forced the knock on.
We can't play advantage. It's touched by a player behind the player that last played it.
Novuka needed to be. Libbok just controlling things superbly. Little kick pass over the top. Gets into the hands. Just not able to take it. Make some space with it. Leolin's us.
Let's go, lads.
It's not forward, so we'll go back for the first knock. Gotta love the way the Stormers play though. Inside their 22, yes, they got a comfortable lead, so it's almost risk-free. Still doing the smart thing, taking the smart options every single time. Knowing exactly where the space is. It's out wide, and they're finding even more and more opportunity out there at the tips.
Take it out, hold out.
No second shove on for the Vodacom Bulls. Lovely line from Forster, taking the pop from Chris Smith.
There's the ball.
Papier, Nokia. And then low.
No.
Frans.
Lost feet.
Strong tackle from Marvin Orie, and no opportunity for Willie Engelbrecht over the ball. Steenekamp driven back in the tackle. Tipped on by Morne Smith.
No clear knock. And
for Elrich low.
No one.
They found no way through with ball in hand, so Smith goes aerial once again, backwards off a Stormers player. It was Leolin Zas. Lovely hands from Plessis. Yeah, and then from Willemse. Knock on from Ruhan Vermaak.
Just a knock on. Lost it. Try to catch
I've seen it a couple of times this afternoon. The balls go through maybe 4 or 5 phases. Make no progress, caught behind the gain line by a good strong rush defence from the Stormers, but no real initiative from the Bulls. They're taking it flat, or not even flat, they're taking it behind the gain line. One-off runners tackle back, and then ultimately just kicking it away.
Ruben van Heerden, Joel, limped off the field and was in a very large and menacing looking knee brace after the game against Benetton Treviso in Stellenbosch a couple of weeks back. He was replaced by Ernst van Rijn, who also hobbled off, and everyone thought both those seasons were over. Van Rijn's is, Ruben van Heerden has made a semi-miraculous recovery to be here today.
Bye. Sit.
Down on this near side, but ball at the back for Herschel Jantjies. Had a look towards Leolin Zas, then goes open side, and Plessis. Good distance on that boot. Creel. And Willemse. He was looking for the pass inside to Manie Libbok, who said, no, I want you to hoist it up that right flank. Brilliant from Arendse. Curtly Arendse, magnificent. Looking for the offload, which he gets for Creel. Creel inside. And Nokia has got it down. That is sensational from the Bulls. Sparked by the sheer brilliance of Curtly Arendse.
Wow, what a take, what a take. Came sprinting forward.
Look.
Grabbed it somehow out of the air and through he went. Brilliant step and go, the place, the offload.
What do you want to look at, Marius?
He is special, Curtly Arendse, isn't he? And he has shown exactly how special he is. Try for Ruhan Nokia, his fifth of the campaign.
TMO's seen it, he wants to review that. You want to review the grounding, nothing before that.
Here comes the return kick, the point from
Libbok
to Willemse saying kick it. And here he comes, steaming at pace. Well, there's a check, not sure why. The grounding, possibly.
In goal, so talk us through, Marius. There's nothing on our screens. Here it comes.
Players in control. Players in control. He's still in control.
Tackle had come in from Willie Engelbrecht And Ruhan is
Still in
entitled to
control.
roll in place.
Oh, has he lost control?
Okay, so Jock, I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to talk you through it now.
Okay. He's in control. Is there a point where he loses control?
Okay, he loses control now. Control now,
Okay,
and there's no separation. However, there is no downward pressure in that.
Okay, so therefore your suggestion is in goal
Before
so
the
it's
ball.
a goal line dropped out.
Yeah, there's no separation,
Correct.
but no grounding either, I would guess. Yep, no grounding.
Goal line dropped out.
Just that lifeline the Bulls needed is not going to be there just yet. It's a real shame if you consider how brilliant, absolutely sensational Kurtley Arendse was. Not rewarded for that brilliance.
Okay, stop. Yeah, lost control. Sorry, in control, then no downward pressure.
So disappointment for the Bulls, specifically their captain, Ruhan, but take nothing away from the build-up that led to it. Absolutely superb. Goal line not dropout, taken by Orie low. Kitshoff holding on in the tackle. Former Springbok Nizam Khan,
On the ball.
a former Stormers player as well, is on the field in jersey number 20.
And away forward!
And just under 100 caps for the Stormers before playing the Wasps in England. Ooh, a little foot on the ball from the Stormers there, and
Not on.
had that gone to hand, it may have got it into an interesting chase between Angelo Davids and Kurtley Arendse.
Still a little bit deep. Is that Bulls back line? Here comes a little attempted grabber through. Nice little block from Herschel Jantjies and not gathered.
Yeah.
Would have been a proper out and out foot race. He did right. Well, those fellas were probably hopeful a minute or so ago. And now, not got doom and gloom just yet, but doom and gloom heading their way by the field of things right now.
Locked in.
And his own card, winning just a 13th cap in this competition. Having become something of a fixture at Wasps before the troubles that beset that club, and he made his way back to South Africa. A little bit of indecision from Papier and really leaving Kurtley Arendse a little choice but to kick. And Damian Willemse tracking back. Beautiful judgment to take that over his shoulder and claim the mark.
Not an easy gather when you're heading in the same direction as the ball and you've got to wait for it to come into your view as it's going over your shoulder. It's a great catch, good clearance.
So another change for the DHL Stormers. We've seen Willie Engelbrecht
7.
for Deon Fourie. Now it's Hacjivah Dayimani, who's replaced by Ben Jason Dixon, who is another player who's had a breakthrough season. Outstanding tackler, often tops the tackle stats when he starts, mainly on the blind side flank, but also in the second row. Krobala finds Nortje. Late sack is the call, so penalty advantage for the Vodacom Bulls. Krobala.
No advantage for a late sack.
Well, that's gone forward off Ruhan Vermaak.
Too late. Immediate. Ball formed first, then sacked. 5 and 8.
5 and 8, the two guilty
5 and 8.
parties. Marvin, Orie and Roos. Just going back to that Ben Jason Dixon substitution, it's not really a like for like, is it? It's quite a strange one for me. It's almost a second row coming on for a flanker. Deon Fourie's gone as well. Means you've got Willie Engelbrecht, Roos, Ben Jason Dixon on the side of the scrum. It's a switch to power and strength from John Dobson as we see the late sack. The ball set up already clearly and then pulled down.
That's my job, go over it.
So after the disappointment of the try being ruled out by a TMO decision, the Bulls get another opportunity. It was Nizam Kar who broke away on the blind side of the maul.
The tackle.
Papier and Vermaak. Support into contact from Kyle Brink.
Away, there's the ball. Don't trap him.
Roos trying to work his way out of the back of the ruck, just a metre short now. A series of pick and drives from the Bulls. Grobelaar.
There's the ball.
He's held up. Brink aiming for a second.
Last feet.
Frans Malherbe doing yeoman work.
Don't interrupt by 3.
Penalty advantage for the Bulls as they are repelled once more. Still no way through. Papier gets around his man, and Ambrose Papier gets in for a try that cannot be ruled out. A 4th of the campaign. And an ever-present for the Vodacom Bulls, his 19th game of this season's URC, and still more than a quarter of the game to go. Ambrose Papier keeps them in it.
Boy, he had a lot to do here, didn't he? Stumble back, had to get up, get around a man who's clearly a little bit quicker than him. Did it brilliantly. A little bit of a scramble, penalty advantage it would have been, but look at this. Too much step, too much speed for Leolin, and around he goes. Well played, Ambrose Papier. Dragging the Bulls back into this game, point by point, slowly but slowly.
Really important kick this, 15 points the difference. Slots this, Chris Smith, and it's back within 2 converted tries. To take the margin from 15 to 13. Smith absolutely loves it, and why not? Over the centre of the crossbar it goes.
What I said earlier, it might have been a little bit late for the Bulls. They've certainly proved that wrong. Here comes Ambrose Papier. Good determination, good speed and step as well as he went round. The kick is a great one. Back to a 13-point game, and the Bulls will need more of the same. They need to get down there. Their biggest threat has been when they've been on the line. The pick and goes have been good. It's sucked in defenders, and they've found a bit of space.
Ruhan Vermaak, supported by the replacement tight head Francois Klopper, the 23-year-old in his debut URC season. The ball's been turned over by the Stormers. Libbok puts a little grabber in behind. Curtly Aronson is chase. And the only option available to him was to hack it into touch.
No. We got 2 each. No.
Stormers looking to play quickly. They've got 4 of them after the ball, trying to make sure they could take a quick line out. The Bulls smart as well, quickly set the 2 or 3 men in the line out, which means you can't take a quick one. But it does leave the Stormers in a wonderful attacking position again. He's controlled things beautifully today, Manie Libbok. Carried the ball well, actually. He's taken the space when required, passed when required. Found a gap or 2.
And a contest on the Stormers throw, but Orie up to the task. And then Dweba breaking away.
I think it's Nizam Kar who was up there too quickly. The more not finished, and he's taken the space. He's come up and joined the line out.
Player offside. Here's your marks. Is this one my mark? Orie.
The offside call coming from the assistant referee on the far side of the field. And not surprisingly, with that margin being 13 points, Manie Libbok is asked to kick at goal.
They've taken nicely in the middle, and watch Nizam Kar on this side. The line out's still not out. Quite a few players rush up. He comes up almost right into the line out, which you're not allowed to do. And technically offside.
It's smart, cool playoff rugby decision-making from Stephen Kitshoff. Just looking at the scoreboard, the temptation would have been there to knock it in the corner, go for another maul, but he's saying, let's extend this lead back beyond 2 converted tries.
And I guess especially when you feel like you've had complete dominance and the scoreboard should be running away a little bit, even harder to make a conservative decision. But the right decision it is, and another 3 for the Stormers. 30 points to 14, 18 minutes to go.
That's 182 points now for Manie Libbok in this season's URC. Another change for the Vodacom Bulls. Ambrose Papier, who's enjoyed a fine outing at scrum half, replaced by Keegan Johannes and JJ Kotze.
Outside, taken back.
Is on for the DHL Stormers.
And away. Balls at the back, use it.
Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu is also on. He's replaced Leolin Zast.
So Paul de Vet remains on the bench for now, the man who won his 50th cap for the DHL Stormers in the Benetton game.
Play on. Nothing clear there.
A player down there for the Stormers, riding around on the ground. Looks like Damian Willemse, eventually back on his feet with a pop on from Ruhan Nokia, away by Johannes Smith. Forster.
And release.
Jason Dixon went low in the tackle, away by Smith. Low. And Orense. Get outside. Ruhan Nel. Johannes. Matanzima puts Vermaak into the half gap. And the contest over the ball is magnificent. Ruhan Nel it was.
Wow, he was just too good, right? Vermaak got away from all the support. Such a good line, such a good little pop pass to him. Through the space he went. Look at this for a little burst of speed. Ruhan Nel makes a good tackle.
Right.
Then came that little break from Vermaak. Just when you get away like that into the space, it's so hard for the support players to catch up. And then now he just made a tackle quick with a steal as well.
Okay, is that on 14 or on 15? 15, yeah.
We may have gone back here for a slightly high tackle. Is that what it is?
There was a seatbelt tackle?
Yeah, seatbelt tackle. Ruben Nel it was.
Yeah, you know the tackle I'm talking about, so it's penalty only. Okay, your ball. It's over here, isn't it?
I thought Ruben Nel did quite well to disguise it, actually. It was marginally seatbelt, and then he, as the tackle was about complete, he slipped his arm out of sight almost.
Seatbelt tackle.
And still caught by the officials. Gives the Bulls another little chance to kick it down into the corner and chip away at the 16-point lead. Quickly, Orense. Oh, I'm not sure how else he's supposed to tackle there. Orense's dropped his weight. He's gone down low.
Numbers, please.
Still, the laws are the laws.
Excellent.
Not surprising to see that man near the high end of all these categories in the URC rankings.
You got to use it as a sack.
Well, it's going to be a scrum to the Stormers. It's the second time in the match we've seen that early legal sack from the Stormers means the ball needs to be played immediately.
Ball's up.
Everyone Roos is getting the half house. He's made a couple of good steals this afternoon, a couple of good saves at the maul, the sack time. Not at his normal robust ball carrying game, but it's not been one of those days where it's been open play, which really suits his carrying type style.
Yeah, I get that.
And in fact, with the slippery pitch, it's almost nullified his ability as well as that of Hacjivah Dayimani. But the Bulls' very narrow defence has meant there's been space out wide, and that's where the Stormers have capitalised.
So JJ Kotze packing down. in the middle of 2 seasoned Springboks. And we hear that there will shortly be another change in that DHL Stormers front row, with Neethling Fouche set to replace Frans Malherbe at tight end.
Well, that's a huge battle going on right now. Frans Malherbe on the far side.
Push down. Okay, both of you improve. Let's move.
Against Superior and it turns him up.
Okay.
So hard for the front row in a game like this. It's all about dominance, it's all about strength and power, and it's about having a good base to work off. There's no base on this field. Forwards have just got to do the best they can with their feet slipping around and unable to anchor their body weight, really.
Well, the celebrations at the DHL Stadium seem to be starting. They went quiet for just a moment ahead of half-time, but they are sensing that they will get another opportunity. Almost 47,000 in today, and should they be back next week, dare we say it'll top 50. Clever grabber up the right touchline from Damian Willemse, but Creel doing brilliantly to get away from the chase line. Johannes Carr. Smith, Forster, wonderful step.
And away.
Tackle made by Du Plessis. Vermaak floating it over the top.
Go safe. On the ball.
And Johannes. Smith with a cutout ball, and Carr working in those tramlines. Frans with Creel away to his left. Back for Stedman Frans. And a brilliant cover tackle. Dan Du Plessis, I think it was, who made the tackle on Keegan Johannes. They were in for all money.
Oh, it's brilliant attack play this, isn't it? Just getting around the last defender there. His arm car, the beautiful ball inside. Then the little interplay, Stedman Khan's Creel, the ball back again. One more pass needed, and now comes the tackle from Dan Du Plessis. Try saving, not yet match saving, but certainly a courageous one, a brave one, and a very, very important one.
Option is scramble line out.
This was great bit of interplay there as Johannes was going to grab ball head to head from Dan Du Plessis. Once again, in rugby incidents, it's against a smaller man who's it's a reactionary tackle.
Okay, just play that for us, and we'll just have a look. Nothing seems foul. They just race back at the ball, both players, in a tackle action.
Well, that's good news. It sounds like it's just a tackle. Everyone knows he's had a big afternoon. Does he need a HIA? That's the other question, I guess, when you get one on the head.
Like if you say Mark definitely 8 contact?
That's a good tackle for me.
Okay, cool. Right.
Thank you. We'll play through. That's fine. Yeah, but both players on a realistic position there. They're going for the ball. Thanks.
Well, that's well handled by the officials. I know
they're both going for the ball.
Some circles there'd have been a big investigation and a head-to-head, and is the tackler guilty, or is, but it's both men looking at the ball. The tackle reactionary and deep to be a rugby incident. Well done.
Here we go. Thank you.
So there's Neethling Fouche taking the place of Frans Malherbe. He shared a wonderful story, this young man, on social media this week. He used to play for the Vodacom Bulls, and his now wife, then girlfriend when they were dating, her father, ardent Western Province and Stormers supporter. He said for the first few months, years of their relationship, he hardly spoke to him. But as soon as he changed allegiance and put this jersey on,
best of mates,
he was welcomed into the family with open arms.
I will do that again.
And Neethling says that
up to this point, we
every time he pulls this jersey on, he thinks of his now late father-in-law.
Let's fix it.
He tells a good story, Neethling Fouche, and he has signed the season for an extension, as has Frans Malherbe, the cornerstones of the DHL Stormers scrum.
As has Brock Harris, the old man of the front row.
Let's go,
So the clock winding down, 11 minutes left. Stormers have the put in. The Bulls have a good position to apply some pressure here.
Given the state of the playing surface, that is a rock-solid scrum from both packs. The left-footed boot from Libbok straight down the throat of Kurtley Orense, who sees the opportunity for a chip and chase. Well read by Ruhan, away by Libbok for Willemse. Some smart stepping. But just too many defenders to evade.
Okay, no hands.
Dixon. Clatters into Navuka. He made an entrance into the game, just his second appearance in the URC, having made his debut against the Lions. And Johan Wilson was stretchered off, having taken a knock to the head. It's been a good afternoon for Herschel Jantjies as well, in tandem with Manie Libbok as the halfback pairing.
Yeah, and you know the thing that strikes me about the Stormers too, they often talk about how they love playing rugby together, how they enjoy the game, but they are all so calm under pressure. Just saw it there from Damian Willemse again. The ball's maybe going into touch. It was shipped around, a little move back to him, not in a best position, but certainly looked calm and cleared nicely.
Down by Vermaak, and a little stumble from Chris Smith. Had to take the contact. Matanzima now running a good line. And nothing doing. It's Stephen Kitshoff, the inspirational captain of the home side.
Well, I reckon when the Bulls watch this on Monday and they have their little analysis of what went wrong, they'll look at two areas: defense out wide and the breakdown. They'll be good at scrum time. The scrum's been a solid contest. They've defended well, their line in particular. The mauls they've been decent at and strong, but where they've been skinned is out wide on the quick ball, and most importantly at the breakdown. They've conceded a number of turnovers which has stopped them playing their game, and it's given the Stormers some great territorial advantage from the resulting penalties.
4 and 2.
And here is another one. Kitshoff, man, going to Ulster next year. Part of the tackle, released daylight, and then wins the ball, and as a result, the penalty.
Herschel Jantjies replaced by Paul de Wet. And Bismarck du Plessis on for Johan Krobelaar. De Wet for du Plessis. Tackle made by Nizam Kar. Evan Roos. Strong in contact. Engelbrecht. De Wet, Libbok. Spacing behind for the fly half. Navuka does well. Came across off his wing to clear, but his offload intercepted by Nell. And then
Stabilizes on the floor.
Little knock.
He stabilizes on the floor.
Oh, the smallest of knocks, but a knock it is.
Nothing.
Or I smile from Dandy, because he's had a great game this afternoon. There's quite a few guys who put their hands up for man of the match today. All wearing blue, I would think. The Embrace for Pierre was pretty good for the Bulls. Herschel Jantjies was good. Dan du Plessis been outstanding. Damian Willemse, Manie, Libbok, Deon Fourie was good. Stephen Kitshoff. There's the little chip over the top. Well gathered by Navuka. First real touch he's had this afternoon after coming off the bench. Went for the little offload and well intercepted by Ruhan. And there's the little knock. Changes for the Stormers as well. On comes Gary Porter. On comes Ali Vermaak as the fans. Almost 47,000 of them. You would think those in blue and white can start celebrating now, Matt. Do you think yet? Do you think it's time yet?
I think it's probably fair now. 16 points the lead. They can start making their plans for next Saturday. Connacht having stunned Ulster in Belfast last night in the first of the URC quarterfinals. They knew they were heading to South Africa. They finished 7th on the log. They played the second-placed Ulster. And this game between the 3rd and 6th place teams on the log, last year's finalists. So whoever won this game, it was always going to be a home semi-final against Connacht. And Connacht haven't actually played at this stadium. They played their game earlier this season in Stellenbosch at the Donny Craven Stadium, so it'll be a first time for the man from Galway to come to the DHL Stadium in Cape Town. The Bulls need to score 3 times in under 7 minutes to make that happen. Willemse.
Run!
A little bit of magic, but then quickly closed down. Matanzima.
And away! Aye! Balls off the floor, same as last picture.
Well, it's been stolen by Alistair Vermaak, who's just replaced Stephen Kitshoff. Little inside ball from Libbok for Willemse. Back for Plessis. Libbok again. Floats it over for Ruhan. Feinberg-Mngomezulu. He got his pass away to Angelo. David's his kick charge down.
And again, it's that little inside ball that's making the defense stay a little narrow, making them look inside every time. And then came the space outside. This pass could have gone outside or inside. Some really slick handling we've seen this afternoon from the Stormers. Some great little interpassing.
Okay.
Down.
Just mindful, we've said every set
Marvin Orie, I think it might be Marvin Orie.
Marvin Orie, that is a worrying sign for the DHL Stormers. They've been shedding locks all season. Salman Murat, Ernst van Rijn, but their line-out defence has been a key part of their success today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they were penalised twice for sacking a little bit late, but most of the time the sack has been spot on. The defence has been good. They've stopped the maul from really getting going. Contested twice and won the turnover line-out. I should say they contested a few times and won 2. And even when they didn't win it, the sack most of the time was good. And then came a couple of turnovers from those sacks. It's been a big part of the game from Skulkberger in the stadium. One of the iconic sons of Western Province and the Stormers Rugby.
He's not taking any more passes.
What do you want to do?
Saw him earlier this morning, watching his boys play rugby at a local school and then bringing them to the stadium.
And what a big heart he's got. Came up to Joburg in the weekend.
Springbok captain, he'll get a massive cheer. Underwent his knee surgery and left in no doubt as to how much he is loved and how much his adoring fans would love to see him in the green and gold at Rugby World Cup in France.
And he's got a race against time, doesn't he, to be fit? He did it for the last Rugby World Cup. He got fit in time. Let's hope Sia can make it for this one. Bit of running repairs for Roos as well.
Still another 2 wonderful quarterfinals to come to determine the participants in the other semi-final. It will be the Sharks from Durban taking on the almost unconquered Leinster. They lost just the 1 game in the pool stages, that to the Vodacom Bulls in Pretoria in the final round of the pool stages. So it's the Sharks against Leinster, and then the Glasgow Warriors against Munster, which should be another cracker. The winner of those 2 games meeting in the second semi-final.
I wonder where Sia will be watching his beloved Sharks in about 1.5 time, 2 hours time.
Kotze finds Orie, whose injury concern a thing of the past. There's a penalty advantage against the Bulls captain, Ruhan, taken to ground by Willemse, and then Roos driven back. De Wet has a few forward options here, but goes out the back to Libbok, who goes for the cross kick, and the leap, and is it a score? If it is, it's extraordinary from Damian Willemse. He thinks so.
Okay.
It was almost a disguised kick, wasn't it? It looked like he was going to kick it infield. Purposefully aimed it on the outside. Willemse had a lot of work to do.
Warriors on-field decision is try. We have a grounding. Clear for us whether that play is in
So
touch.
Griffin Colby has told Yucca Paper he's got a grounding. There was a little bit of uncertainty at the time because
7 pink offside.
No try.
I've got that.
Infield, is that the question? His feet are in the whole time. He grabs it now. Maybe he's tackled in the air, I guess. Oh, he's touched the line.
Heel on the line.
You'll have to tell us, Morris, we can't see from here.
Oh, it's a game of tiny little margins. This is his foot on the line. Yeah, it certainly looked like it from that angle. And oh, maybe from that angle, not so much. The crowd aren't sure what to think. They're seeing it on the big screen. That is so close.
Okay, Jaco. Yeah. So what we have is the player touch in goal before the ball is grounded. So it's no try.
We'll go back. We've got two advantages. One for a collapse and then a 7 offside. No try, offside, 7.
Yeah, so it won't be a try for Damian Willemse by a matter of millimeters. A heel on the line, but Jaco Paper was blowing a couple of
in the middle
advantages for offside.
7.
And Manie Libbok will use up some additional time, give his teammates a breather.
And wind down the clock a little bit, I guess. 3 scores needed. This means it needs to be 3 tries needed. And absolutely no doubt that there's no comeback from this.
Davy Snyman's convinced. He's packed away the laptop.
Yeah. He hasn't opened the champagne just yet, but he's quite sure. And of course, this does mean that it's Connacht coming right back here to the DHL Stadium in Cape Town for the semi-final next weekend. Those times will be confirmed in the next day or two. But another momentous occasion and another great occasion to bid farewell to Stephen Kitshoff.
So Manie Libbok, who has been absolutely perfect this evening. That's his 4th penalty to go with the conversions of the 3 tries. 18 points from the boot of the prolific Manie Libbok.
Well, we spoke before the game about the Stormers having a little slump in their form in the last couple of weeks. They did make some changes, which maybe didn't help matters.
Sorry, we'll stop the clock for that.
They've certainly bounced back properly this evening as Roos will go off and just get that head looked at maybe at an HIA and on returns. Hacjivah, Dayimani.
We did stop the clock.
It's actually Marvin Orie now, Joel, who's left. So Evan Roos was bandaged up on the head. He's back. Now Marvin Orie.
And his funny little hat is gone.
He's down the tunnel.
You did right.
And Hacjivah Dayimani replacing him. Contact in the air on Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, who's quickly back to his feet. Here's Libbok over the top for Angelo Davids. Got rid of Lionel Mapu unceremoniously. Dayimani wants it, but it goes out the back for Libbok, who just delays his pass brilliantly, and running onto it is Willemse. Well, he looked to his inside, gave the no-look pass to the out, but the 2 players to his right overran it.
Boy, he's been good tonight, Manie Libbok. Once again, attacking that game line, looking to draw defenders. The Bulls worried about the space out wide. Just bought some time, and this is even contest in the air. Both players missing the ball and each other. Taking a little tumble, and then on the back of that break, Willemse, as you said, the little no-look pass, but just juggled it firstly, which is, I think, just maybe put him in 2 minds.
Another little injury stop, this time for Kyle Brink. We've seen a lot of this, Joel, and again, we have to comment on the surface. This heavy, sticky surface is a lot of players cramping.
Yeah, and experiencing a bit of fatigue, a bit more fatigue than normal, particularly the guys from Pretoria who won't be used to this. The Stormers obviously play there a little bit more as we see that little no-look pass going nowhere. Boy, he's been good tonight. I think he needed a big game today, Manie Libbok. He's not shown that greater form in the last couple of weeks. Had a couple of moments that he probably wouldn't have really wanted to look at again. But today he has righted the record book. He has been just sensational.
Smart du Plessis finds Ruhan Nokia in the middle of the Bulls line, out away by Smith. Mapu offloading contact for Nizam Kar. Johannes And Swanepoel, little tip on from Smith for low. Johannes, and again Nizam Carr involved in the carry. They're just going side to side here, not making any forward momentum, even with the scoreline where it is. The Stormers' defensive line continues to press and to smother and to stifle. Forster now looking to get over the defensive line with the boot. And Nortje, who has just never stopped running throughout the Vodacom Bulls, captain there to take the inside pass. Matanzima on the follow-up.
Not supportive of weight.
And Ben Jason Dixon not supporting his weight in that attempted steal. Bismarck du Plessis trotting over to throw in at the line out, turns 39 years of age this month. 79 test cap Springbok. Tackle made by Billy Engelbrecht, and there's been Jason Dixon, that left arm clearly beyond the tackled player, supporting himself before making the steal.
Lifters, picture.
Safety.
Janko Swanepoel with a line-out win for the Bulls, and Bismarck du Plessis controlling possession. He has 4 tries
Hands on the ground.
in this URC campaign, and now a penalty advantage, so they have a free play, and not to hand for Sibongile Nobuka.
Hands on the floor, defending the ball, and keeping the hands on the floor.
Final opportunity for the Vodacom Bulls. Elrich Low will tap and go. Matanzima and Nortje looking to wedge in behind him. Vermaak makes the tackle. Johannes
And away.
unable to wriggle his way through. Matanzima waits. Carr and Klopper
And away. Ball's available.
supporting. Ball comes back for Bismarck du Plessis. Still the Bulls come around the corner. Swanepoel can't make it over. Nor Matanzima. The siren has sounded as the try is awarded
Thank you, Mario. Got that.
by Jaco Paper. It will be the last play of the game, despite the opponent scoring through Bismarck du Plessis, his 5th of the campaign. The blue flags of the DHL Stormers are waving around the stadium. They will be back next week in their droves. Ali Vermaak went a little early there. It opened up the opportunity for Bismarck du Plessis to get the 3rd try for the Vodacom Bulls. Chris Smith with the formality of a final conversion, but too little, too late for last year's finalists.